If you don't have what you want yet, that means your brain is predicting the wrong future. And it's doing it automatically, without your awareness. You have tried setting the goals, visualizing, and maybe you even believe in yourself like intellectually. But there seems to be something that keeps pulling you back to the same patterns. So you keep overthinking, you keep being worried, you keep being anxious, you keep procrastinating the things you have to do, and you never actually make it. I want to teach you why your brain builds these predictions and how to change it. Your brain is constituted by your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. And that has a reason. Your body administrates energy to your brain, and that energy is finite. So when you have a finite resource, you want to administrate it in the smartest way possible, right? Because you have to accomplish a specific goal with that resource, but the resource is finite, so you cannot waste it on like stupid projects. So the brain does something really smart. It basically automates processes. Your brain is like basically an automation machine, because most of the stuff you do daily is automated by your brain. That's why you don't have control over your thoughts yet. And that's why your actions are automated. Because your brain automates processes to optimize energy consumption. That's like the reason. That's why. So we will talk about your unconscious mind today. But then we will learn how to use your conscious mind to control it. Because it's like Carl Jung said, make the unconscious conscious, or it will direct your life. And today we will analyze the prediction system inside your brain. That's a system that creates predictions automatically, and basing on those predictions, you behave. You create your actions and execute them, and your actions bring you your outcomes. And these predictions are way more important than visualizing consciously. So, how does your brain actually automate processes? That's by mapping familiar actions with familiar situations. So every time you face a familiar situation, you already have an action in the background of your mind, like this system has an action that you will execute. But how does your brain automate processes? That's by mapping actions with familiar situations. Basically, every time you face a familiar situation, like washing your hands, you don't learn how to wash your hands every time you want to do it. You already know, because you stored memories in your brain that tell you what you have to do every time you want to wash your hands, and you do it in an automatic way. If we say that washing your hands is automated, we don't care, because if you wash your hands like excellently or good enough, that's irrelevant. But if you socialize, if you work for hours, if you study for hours, if you train for 1 hour, if you want to do something bigger and more difficult, this system is designing your actions as well. This system is conditioning your behavior all the time. So if this system is not working properly, then you will want to change it so you can execute the right actions and build the right things. How does the brain actually automate processes? By mapping actions with situations. That's simple. That's by creating a model of reality. You have to know that reality is such a complex phenomenon. It has many dynamics variables that changes, of course, all the time, and you cannot contemplate all those variables in a single instant. And even if you could, even if you had the cognitive skill required to do that, that would consume enormous amounts of energy. So it's nonsense. But how does your brain create a model of reality? Remember, you have to understand reality. What does this mean? Like you wake up and you see around. When you were a baby, you didn't even know what you were looking at. Like you just had your eyes open, and that's it. You couldn't interpret what you were watching. You are creating a model of reality inside your brain. So nowadays, you can use that info to know what you're looking at. Like when you look at the door, you know that thing is a door, and that door can be opened by doing a specific movement, right? And that happens with everything. the people you have around you, the people you know, the people you don't know, the clothing, the walls, everything. Like you have info in your brain that tell you everything, how everything works. Models of reality are not real or fake. They are not close to reality or not close to reality. They are not precise or accurate or fake. Models of reality are just a tool you use to move around the world and do the things you have to do. It's that simple. Your brain is not cognitively skilled to interpret reality in a single instant and design actions in a couple of seconds. Your brain needs to simplify reality. And you create a model of reality by basically by storing memories in your brain and then creating beliefs over those memories. So when you were a baby, you didn't even know what you were looking at, but you were observing and you were storing. And when you found patterns, like you saw a door being opened enough, like many times, that one day those memories were used to take a conclusion, and that is like, well, that object like moves in this way and can be opened, and like, there is no language here, like it's just like a thought. And of course, what I'm telling you is also a model. Like this diagram is a model of the system inside the brain. It's a simplification, but it works. So you store memories and beliefs that tell you what reality is like. So every time you wake up and you make your breakfast in a specific way, and you eat a specific food, and you have a specific amount of money, and you work for a specific amount of hours with music in the background, or while scrolling on IG every 30 minutes or whatever, like every habit you have inside your brain is just part of your model of reality. It comes from what you think reality is like. And you can think in two terms. You have like this model of reality can be divided into two big groups. The first one is the most important one. The first one is your identity. Your identity is a model of yourself. It's who you think you are. And this is useful because if you didn't have this, every time you wake up, you would have to like design a temporary personality to behave for a couple of seconds. And that's nonsense. Now, the problem is, if you think you are undisciplined, you have a problem. Because from models of reality, or if you think you are a bad person, or if you think you are shy, or if you think you are not smart, or if you think you will never make it, that's a problem. Like any negative belief about yourself is a problem. Because from this model of reality, your brain creates predictions of events that will happen in the future. And from these predictions, your brain designs actions to be successful in the situation. Now, what does this mean? This means that if you are shy, and if you have been shy for many years, and you had a lot of awkward interactions, next time you try to socialize, your brain will predict an awkward interaction. If you have tried to work for 5 hours daily for years and you have never made it, and you were undisciplined, and every time you wanted to work, you scrolled for hours, then next time you try to focus for 5 hours, your brain will predict that you will be undisciplined and scroll for hours and avoid the work. So you have a big problem. Because when you want to visualize consciously, that's great. But what matters most is this prediction, because this prediction comes as a visualization. You literally visualize yourself with this prediction. Even though you're not consciously doing it, it's in the background of your mind. And now that you are aware of this system, you can practice this and be aware of this system. And every time you try to do something, understand that in the background of your mind, there is a visualization that actually tells you what you believe is going to happen. You can say things out loud, like affirmations, that can work, but do it done in the proper way. Or you can visualize consciously, but deep down, this is what matters. Your brain creates your identity from memories and beliefs. And this is essential because you have like evidence that tell you that what you believe about yourself is correct. You have many memories. Like if you are shy, you have many memories being shy. If you are undisciplined, you have many memories being undisciplined. So you will predict that in the future. So how do you change this? Well, there is no magical solution. Like there is no magic here. What you can do, and you have like great amount of power if you learn this skill, is being aware. You have to be aware of this system running in the background of your mind. Now, it may seem like a bad solution, right? Like, oh, well, just being aware, right? Like, I mean, we can all be aware. But like, this is not like a fixed system. Like, I know you want a system. Like, you want something like step by step, like do this, do that, do this. And there is a specific system, but that would take like hours to explain. And that system has one goal, and that is to develop this skill. How do you become aware of this? And how do you use awareness to change this? Well, it takes two steps. In simple terms, you have to basically become aware of this. Every time you want to do something, you have to be aware of the prediction. You have to understand that prediction, what it's telling you, what is it telling you, and like understand it like in the most detailed way possible. From that prediction, you will try to understand what you believe about yourself and about your environment. Because your environment is also important. Like if you believe money is scarce or abundant, if you believe people are good or evil, that's part of your model of the environment. And understanding this, that comes from this, you will have to be aware that maybe you have a negative statement about yourself or about the environment that is not working for you. And then you have to do the second step. When you recognize a negative belief about yourself, you just stop believing it. It sounds dumb, but it makes sense. You just stop feeding every thought that pops up in your mind that tell you that memory, that belief about yourself, that you are shy, that you are not smart, that you are dumb, that you are whatever negative thing. You just stop feeding that. You just stop believing that. If you have like being shy for 15, 20, 25 years and people already know you like that, or if you have been lazy for 20 years and people around you already know you like that and you already know you like that, it doesn't matter. You just behave differently. You just understand that that's just a thought. Stop trying to fight with your thoughts. Stop trying to justify that now you are a new person. Because if you try to justify that you are a new person, you will try to work. For example, if you are undisciplined, you will try to work for 10 hours a day for 3 months, like in a row, and you will not make it because you believe of yourself that you are undisciplined. And then you will keep in this loop, trying to look for the effect before the cause. So guys, just keep in mind one thing. You create a model of reality, and that's a simplification of reality. This model is not accurate or delusional. This model just is and helps your brain design your predictions and then your actions. If you want to create a model of reality that tells you that you are disciplined, extremely successful, extremely wealthy, and you create wealth every day, and you are socially skilled, and you are a great person, that's not being delusional. That's just creating the right model of reality in your head that will help you accomplish the goals you have always wanted to accomplish. So you don't need a justification to believe a different thing about yourself. How do you change this model if it's automatic? By being aware. Every time a prediction or a thought pops up in your mind telling you that you will fail, that you are undisciplined, that you will not make it, that you are not worthy, that you are not smart, that you have done many things in the past that could be evidence of failure in the future, you just ignore those thoughts. You just ignore them. Don't try to justify them, like trying to look for evidence that show you the other reality, that the reality you want to manifest. Just believe a different thing. Just pay attention to other thoughts. So stay aware and just put this into practice for a couple of weeks. It will work, like I promise. And that's it. I hope it helped. Thanks for watching. Bye.